So everybody's waiting anxiously for those matric results. But what happens once you have the results? You know, the first question is, how do I make sure I have my results? The easiest way is you check it online on the Department of Education's website. There's a place where you can fill in your exam number and you press enter and it will show you the results on screen. For the detailed results, seeing what you got for every subject, you're going to go back to your exam center, go back to the school where you wrote, and on the 23rd of February, they will have your results for you. Now what? Okay, well, it depends on what the results you got. So I'll start at the top. If you got a bachelor's pass, it means you can study towards a degree. Obviously not any degree, because every university and every degree has its own entrance criteria. So for example, if you want to become an engineer, then they're going to expect that you would have done maths in matric, not mathematical literacy. If you, the same, if you want to become a chemical engineer, then you should have done science at school. You want to become a medical doctor, certainly their entrance criteria to accept you onto that program will be that you've passed things like chemistry, that you pass things like maths. So, cool. Okay, what happens if you pass with a diploma pass? Okay, if you achieve a diploma pass in matric, you can study any national diploma. So diploma is an accredited program that is a post-matric program, and that kind of ends one level lower than a degree. I think the diplomas that has the most students on in South Africa are what we call the NATED programs, the national diplomas. And they're also called the N4, N5, N6 certificates. And then at the N6 level, you do practical work. And at the end of the practical work, you apply for your diploma. Cool. So, what if you get a certificate pass? With a certificate pass, I'm kind of tending to say the same thing. For me, most of the people who pass matric with a certificate pass are going to do a national certificate vocational, NCV, or they're going to do a NATED national certificate, the NATED national certificate as well. You can do N4, you get your certificate at the end of N4, you build up to N5 and N6. It means you're going to have an N4 certificate, the N5 certificate, the N6 certificate. They're all national certificates you get from Department of Education. And of course, at the end of that process, once you've done your practical work, you can actually get a national diploma. Okay, then, the last and certainly not least, you fail matric, now what? And you would often hear me say to people who worry about failing matric just ain't that important. There are lots of study options. Matric is just one stop on the road of your life. So cool, you failed it, that's dismal, that's not a nice feeling. What can you do? You can go back to school. If your school will accept you back, you can redo the year. I tend to think full-time study gives you your best opportunity to pass matric. You can also, if you have a fail now, you can register for the May exams, where you're allowed to upgrade to one or two of your subjects. So if you know getting better marks in one or two subjects will actually give you a pass, the best thing you can do is to quickly register for the May exams. And I'm saying quickly because the closing date for those exams will be very soon after you've got your results. My expectation is like you're going to get your results by 23 February. You will probably have to register for those kind of upgrade for the supplementary exams by middle of March, late in March. There's going to be weeks, not months, that you'll still be able to register for those exams. So if you know improving your marks in one or two subjects gets you a pass, then that's what you aim for. Also, you might simply go, listen, this matric thing isn't for me. I'm not interested in these studies. and you can find yourself something to study that doesn't require matric. Now, matric is an entrance to something. You want to go to university, they want to see that you have a matric. But there's lots of studies for people who have grade 11, who has passed grade 10, lots of accredited programs you can do. So I work at Matric College. We offer the ICB, the Institute of Certified Bookkeeper programs. With your grade 10 pass, with your grade 11 pass, you can get onto those programs. They're fully accredited. You're going to study up to matric level. You're going to study past matric level on those programs. So you end up with a matric equivalent qualification without doing matric, and you end up studying further. All you're doing is you're picking a career path. You know, you're deciding now, I want to go into accounting, I want to go into business management, I want to go into office administration, and you actually build yourself a career path with your studies, and you still end up with a post-matric qualification.